ABG, it's not every day you get to see a tire held down by a cinder block. Hopefully I'm not the guy behind them.
It's always interesting to see how people get down to the boat ramp, and it's not always on land. There's plenty of good stories that happen on the water of people trying to get back to the ramp as well. And of course, not every boat ramp story is a fail story. There are plenty of successes down there at the boat ramp, and it's always interesting to see some people succeed in situations where you think they shouldn't, but for whatever reason, the more popular stories are still those ones that don't have the most positive outcome, or they don't end in the manner that you think they would. But if you're boat long enough, you're going to have both your success stories and your fail stories. Speaking of stories, nothing quite like telling your story with your favorite beverage, especially if it's in a Drain Plug Mafia tumbler, and today we're going to do a giveaway winner's choice. Our winner's either going to get a choice between a Drain Plug Mafia tumbler or one of the brand new fishbone fenders from Jet Boat Pilot. If you haven't seen these yet, you gotta check them out, one of the most configurable fenders on the market. We used these on our most recent boating trip and had tremendous success with them, but we bought more than we need, and so we're going to give a few away. For those in the know, you already know it's simple. Hit the like button now, leave a comment at some point in the video, and we're going to pick somebody who does those two things and they're gonna win their choice of prize. But back to the boat ramp stories. The boat ramp can be a tricky son of a gun. Sometimes you think you're having a success story down at the boat ramp only to really find out, well, that success story actually is turning into one of those fail moments. So I ask everybody, anytime you're down at the boat ramp and you're about to make a big decision on something you're gonna do, one of the key things I would tell you to do is go ahead and think about it a second time. Are you setting yourself up for success at the boat ramp, or are you setting yourself up to possibly wind up on Boneheaded Boaters of the Week? One of the biggest key mistakes I see made is people trying to do things that probably should be done by the pros. So for example, yes, it's nice to try and help somebody out sometimes, but unless you are perfectly capable of doing so, have all the proper equipment to do it, you really want to take a second guess as to whether you should pull this off, or you might find yourself in this situation like the four guy is here, grabbing his straps and trying to get out of here with the quickness before somebody tries to blame him for the boat being on the deck. But the pros don't always get it right either. Sometimes you can call the pros in, and things, well, they can go wrong there as well. Nobody's perfect, we're all human, we all make mistakes. But at least if you call the pros in, they're probably going to do their best to try and rectify the situation and still get the situation resolved, as to where if you just rely on a good Samaritan to do it and things go wrong, they're probably going to try and bail out pretty fast on you and not be held responsible for anything, and I don't blame them. They were just trying to lend a hand. But once again, if you're not actually prepared to lend that hand correctly, sometimes you're better off not to do it. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see made when people try and take these matters into their own hands, though, is all of a sudden they lose focus. So for example, if your truck is stuck at the ramp, people start focusing on how do I get the truck unstuck? And they forget about some of the other things, like the whole reason you're at the ramp to begin with, like making sure the boat is actually on the trailer correctly, or even secured to the trailer correctly, because you're so focused on the other problem at hand. Now, some of the easy ones are the situations where you get there and there's no good Samaritan help. In other words, as a good Samaritan, you look at that situation and you're like, yeah, bro, you done messed up, and nobody's gonna be able to help you but the pros, or you're gonna have to take this one into your own hands, my good sir, and figure out the solution to your problem. Now, every time we see these stories, of course, people always think to themselves, yeah, the boat ramp kind of sucks. Maybe I should just go to the marina. Life would be easier and better if I just pull my boat up right to the dock. We're able to step off and enjoy our day, but the truth is that's not always the best choice. The marina comes with its own set of challenges as well. Now, I will admit, most people who keep their boat in the marina have a little quicker time than dealing with the boat ramp. Typically, things go right, you're gonna get it tied up, get done really fast, and whenever you wanna launch, you just show up, untie, and you are on your way. So the marina does have some advantages, but the reality is things can go wrong with any of it. It doesn't matter how you launch. So no matter what you're doing in your boating life, when you're launching or retrieving a vessel, you want to make sure you take your time and double and triple check everything so you don't wind up with your own boat launch or retrieval story that you get to tell people later. The reality is, take your time every time you're doing this. Double and triple check everything. I know, especially at the boat ramp, there can be a lot of pressure when trucks start stacking up behind you, but the reality is, if you're not ready, let them pass and make sure you've got everything done correctly for yourself. Other than that, you can find yourself in some pretty bad spots. And of course, if you choose the marina, just the golden rule, slow is better, never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Julian Dem 777, Carson 54, Dennis Yanadis, Adam Coolidge, Foul Life 34, Low Tap, Nicole Newman, and Tiger 2007 did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.